Yeah, welcome back. You listen to the sports minister there talking about the success of the National Sport Festival and also the maintenance culture that we don't have in Nigeria. And of course, we know what's happening. The National Stadium Surulere in Lagos, well, it is now a shadow of itself. I mean, it used to be the big one. But Shala, I think that's the one that will get our focus right now, National Stadium
Yeah,
in Lagos here.
National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. But before that, I just want to chip in something about the National Sports Festival.
Right.
Of course, it's a good thing that we finally had the festival in Abuja after several failed attempts by other states to host it because of the bar that Lagos set so high. You know,
It's still there
in
now.
2012.
Yeah.
But leading up to the sports festival, I was really disappointed with the fact that they had to rush to fix some of the facilities. Even a day or two to the event, they were still painting and trying to put things in place. And which goes back to what the minister was talking about, the maintenance culture that we lack. And whose job is it? Whose purview does this fall under? You know, we have facilities. We do not have enough facilities in Nigeria. If you go by global standards, we do not have community centers. We don't have stadiums. We don't have any of those things, you know. If you go to other clients, when you're exposed to those things, you understand what I'm trying to talk about.
Correct.
And I still say that's one of the things that would save this country from a lot of insecurity, because we can take kids off the street, you know, someone who could be a future armed robber, future gun-wielding person could actually be rehabilitated and trained to do sports. And of course, it helps the economy, helps security, helps health, you know, so sports is very important. So I think through the years, we have failed as a people, you know, to look at the importance of sports. Sports is still being treated like a joke in this country. That's why we do not have people who understand sports, running sports in virtually every part of the country. And yes, people don't want to hear it, but it is the truth. If we understood the importance of sports from federal to state to local government, we won't be talking about maintenance culture, because it is someone's job. There should be someone held responsible for not doing their job. But let's leave that. Now let's talk about the National Stadium Surulere. Built in the 70s, and as at then it was arguably the best in Africa. And of course, a lot of countries came around to even just try to replicate what we had, you know. We've let it go to waste because of the so-called maintenance culture that we keep blaming. But the question is, if you build, like wherever we all live now, was constructed by someone, we have landlords and stuff.
Of course.
Someone has to maintain it. Whose job is it to maintain these things? You know, you come to the National Stadium, you look at the tartan tracks, you want to cry. Look at the seats. You know, the plastic seats are real nice when we were hosting the World Cup a couple of years ago. You want to cry. There are trees and grasses growing on concrete.
Nowadays.
All sorts of things happening in that place. You know, the dressing room, because, and this is the sad part. Every time a new minister is
inspection tool
is brought
as
on
a new
board,
minister,
I can't use the word employed, is selected or appointed.
Yes.
They all come to the National Stadium. I was part of about 2 or 3 tours in the past 4 or 5 years or 6 years. You know, I have pictures, I have videos. We will go around with these people and they show you the passion. You see it on their face. They are so disappointed. You go into the dressing room, to the gym and all of that. Then what happens?
Nothing happens. Okay.
Then the next minister comes. Then the next minister comes. And we're still complaining about a problem that we know is someone's job. Whose job is it?
Okay, whose job is it? It's a big question. How are we going to answer that? Okay, straightforward, right? Not so straightforward. That's why the problem is still there. Now, we're still talking of a review of 2018, what went on and all that. We talked about earlier how he rated, 2018 very high, starting with the numbers of medals that Nigerian athletes actually won at global stage, from D Tigress, to the athletes of Sabah 2018 and all that. Let's hear from him again.
At sports in Nigeria in 2018, how can you describe it? The number of medals Nigeria has held in 2018 is incomparable to any year of our history. And then the advancement in terms of our performances I mean, in women basketball, the Tigers set an African record, being the first African country in 100 years to qualify to quarterfinals in basketball. The tradition has been that if you are going for World Cup in basketball, they book accommodation and visa for African countries for the first round only, because none of them have ever passed the first round. But in 2018 in Spain, they have to live with Nigeria and they keep adjusting their visa requirement and accommodation till the end. Now, our team, having dismantled 3 strong nations of the world, had to also qualify to play for their ranking. And from the 32nd in the world, they came to number 8 in the world. When we were moving out of the stadium in Spain, African countries came and lined up with joy and they were waving flags. That is a world record. Today, Scrabble, which is more or less of an English game, is a Nigerian game now. If you were at the National Sports Festival, if you see the number of young people playing Scrabble, it's amazing. Young people. We are world champions, 2 times world champions, and we are 12-time world African champions in Scrabble. Our girls, the Super Falcons, 9-time African champions. Our badminton team went to Zambia, played the Zambian International Championship, emerged champions. So everywhere the story is success. Today, our powerlifters have consistently maintained world records. So if we are going for any international competition, you don't challenge Nigeria. In wrestling, we have world records. All this to us is a very good omen. So 2018, I think, set a tune of hope for sports in Nigeria.
The success story is good for 2018, but Honorable Minister, does it worry you that funding and welfare of athletes is still a major problem to our sports?
Yeah, it is not only worrying me, but I think it has always been calibrating my BP. Funding, I think in 2019, I'm tempted to think that there is a need for a stakeholders conference where we will bring both the state governors, the state government, the federal government, the National Assembly, together so that experts could come and educate them on the need for funding. The welfare of athletes. Our attitude under my watch is that once we write a budget, it is the athletes we are targeting. I have directed and maintained you must pay athletes directly. Nobody is going to give any money to the federation where they will collect the money and tell the athletes that, oh, after the competition, they will say, no, government say, okay, you go, and no, there is nothing like that. So if I'm going for an international competition, I go with the cashier and the accountant. There is this policy that if you medal in gold, $5,000, silver, $3,000, bronze, $2,000. Every international competition, every athlete that has measured is paid right there. Right there. Even though there is a problem in football that the players are now writing me messages and complaining. And they said the 2016 Super Falcons who came back and demonstrated, they said they have not been paid. But they came, they protested, and then because I wrote a memo, if that money was released, we would have